I need a workbench for my new Midi Lathe, so I'm building it out of framing lumber and using half-lap joints like I do with all my benches. I cut notches in my boards 3/4 of an inch deep on the RAS, and I'll be cutting out the excess pieces to make the half-laps on the bandsaw. This is one of the legs. These will be cross braces from front to back. There'll be one at the bottom, one at the top. And the long ones will be the cross pieces for the top and for a shelf I'm putting in toward the bottom. Oh, I forgot to cut the notch for the half lap for my lower brace. I've got a stop block set up so I can make all 4 cuts repeatable. Half-lap joints are pretty much self-squaring. I went ahead and double checked, but everything looking good. So I'm going to get these screwed together. I clamped them just to keep everything from moving while I'm putting the screws in. I'm adding some foot pieces to the bottom of my bench to add stability. That's a template from the very first workbench I ever built. I use that to put a little decorative end on the foot and also to reduce the trip hazard a little bit. Well, after a bunch of twisting and beating and banging with a rubber hammer, I've got this thing fairly square. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's good enough for what it is. I'll be adding X bracing on each side of the bench. I'll put one here and one over there rather than just having some run all the way across, because I don't want to block my receptacle. I don't know if it's in the frame or not, but it's roughly in the middle of the bench. I had put a tentative mark on this board, but now that I've cut the bottom end, I'm going to go back and mark it again, so hopefully it'll be more accurate. Had to give it a little shave, but it's fitting now, and it'll work for both sides. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 3 more to match this one. Use a piece of 3/4 inch MDF to set my blade height for my half laps. And I found center on this board by marking center on each end and then measuring. So I marked center and then measured out to give me my 3.5 inch width. I'm going to cut these cross braces one at a time, install one, and then put the other one up and mark it just to make sure I get them right, because I'm not 100% positive the frame is perfectly square. So by doing it this way, I'll have a better chance of everything being accurate. Got a nice tight fit on this first set. I'm going to mark the cut on the front board. Okay, I went ahead and drilled holes in these boards to hopefully help keep from splitting with the screws. I'm going to notch this in 1.5 inches by 3.5, and then I'll measure down from this notch to decide where to put the one on the other end. That'll be more accurate than just coming in from the end 1.5 inches. I had to notch my shelf to work around my X bracing. And I threw in a couple of supports to hold the shelf on the ends where it's notched. Now, let's see if I can get it in here. This may be a little bit of a trick. I may have to cut it in half. Yep, I think I'm going to. Let's see. Let's try to put this in. Yeah, I got it. All right. All right, well, a bunch more of those, and then I can get the top one. There. Be nice to finally have this thing out of the floor. So even if I put an extension on the lathe, a 1 foot extension, it's still going to be less than 4 feet long. I've got plans for the other end of my workbench that'll be in an upcoming video.